Hey guys, Nathan Brendan Masters. I got a new one for you today. And this, of course, is Zombie Girl. This is a picture I did of her uh, probably 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. But that's when I was doing the various art challenges and things like that. And I was trying to get on board that. And this was a really nice piece. I did it with the ink brush, and I think I used tone markers and some other things, but you'll see the process in this video. But a lot of you guys know I used to do commentary videos back in the day. As a matter of fact, that was my big thing on this channel. That's why I originally created this channel. Because when I first started doing YouTube, I was a bit of a what they would call a shit poster. So I would just post random things that I thought was funny. Or at that time, there was a feminist that everybody called the Big Red Tornado. Now, there was only one video about her that everybody really focused on, and she just blew up. She became this huge meme, and I did a video about her from the point of view of, this was the new love of my life. And it was a humorous video and people liked it. They really liked it. It got, I think, like 5,000 views, 10,000 views. It got what for me was a lot of views for a video of that type. And this is on my main channel. So I would do other videos like that. And of course, I had, the feature films. I would do filmmaking videos as well, and also EDC videos and other stuff like that. So I had a mix of a lot of things. But I kind of noticed that YouTube looked at my channel. They were kind of strict on my channel where they would come after me for things that was very obvious, weren't big deals, or, they would, at that time, you could, in some cases, they would give you an opportunity to fix things. They would say, hey, we're giving you a community strike for this. And then you could kind of try to fight it. And then they would go, the first time this happened was I had a film called Wages of Sin. It was a '90s cop, martial art cop kind of thing. It was like a throwback type movie. Nothing in it violated guidelines or anything. So the first time they came and told me, hey, you got tags in the description. I was like, okay. So I went in, fixed that up. The second time they said, hey, your title is misleading. I'm like, what? And so I'm like, can you take a look at this? And then they were like, okay, yeah, no problem. And the third time they came out, they were just like, listen, man, we just don't want this film up there. They didn't say that, but they just said, hey, this is a community guideline strike. And I don't even know if they gave me a strike or what. They just deleted the film. So it was very clear to me that it was a film that somebody there didn't like the movie. I re-uploaded the film, of course, because again, there was nothing about the movie that went against their guidelines. And they allowed the movie to stay up there, but it never did get the amount of views that it did back in the day. Of course, at that time, it kind of didn't matter that much because I had Epitaph Bread and Salt was up, and The Perfect Letter both of those films were up. Crisis Function, the Anita Nicole Brown film was up there, and I had a few other things. So the channel was doing okay financially, at least for me. It wasn't making thousands of dollars, but it was making money that I could reinvest in the channel and things. And I was kind of happy about that because I had a little bit of extra money for bills and things like that. So, I felt real good. Now, remember, this was pre-Susan. So, it's the Leafy era and everything. So I was doing a little bit of that kind of stuff, And so what I noticed was that people didn't really like certain type of videos on the channel. So drama videos were always kind of a big thing. So people kind of didn't like me doing YouTube drama, particularly on the main channel. And then people kind of didn't like me doing it's not that they didn't like me doing commentary, it's that if you do commentary on that channel, that's what people wanted. They wanted more commentary. So what I did was I started this channel, which was originally called Blackout Burn Nights, named after one of the nightclubs in my comic books. But for some reason, I just never really posted here. Then I started my vlogging channel. Some of you may remember Nathan Brendan Masters Vlogs. at the time, this was after Susan had come, and this was around 2016, and everything was going crazy. So, people were getting their channels banned and they were getting kicked off the platform. Sometimes people were getting in trouble for stuff that it made no sense why they were getting in trouble for it. It was just crazy. And at the time, they demonetized two of my films, Epitaph Bread and Salt and The Perfect Letter, the two films that were making the most money on my channel. So to protect my main channel, I started the vlogging channel. The vlogging channel would allow me to do just, daily content, daily vlogs. I didn't have to have anything specific, and I could do my political stuff. And what would happen is I found that when I did political videos on my main channel, and I think that was because my main channel had more eyes on it, had more subscribers and more eyes. And at that point, it only had like 5,000 subscribers. So I think they kind of went like, yeah, you got 5,000 subscribers, but your channel gets a lot of views. So we don't really want you doing this kind of commentary on the channel. So there were times when I would do commentary that everybody else was doing. Well, okay, I'm kind of skipping around, but I would notice that they would do things to me that were kind of weird. Like one time, I was going to release this film. I had done this film called Ambient Evil. It was, we shot it in one day. It was an experimental film. I just wanted to see if I could do this. And I did it. And we were going to release the movie. And like a day or so before we released the movie, they demonetized. No, they didn't. They didn't demonetize my channel. They gave me a community guideline strike out of the blue. I hadn't uploaded anything crazy or anything. I was working on this film. I hadn't done anything, and they gave me a guideline strike. Now the thing was, it was like you can't get any more strikes within this time, and on top of that, you can't upload a certain amount of you can't upload anything over 15 minutes. Of course, Ambient Evil was a feature-length film. Now the strike they gave me, if I remember correctly, the penalty was only supposed to be for 2 weeks. For me, it lasted for 3 months. So they literally were trying to destroy my channel and stop me from uploading feature-length content. So me, I'm like, F you, which I probably should have done, but I'm not going to let you you're not going to mess with me. I didn't do anything to you. And I just wasn't having it. So what I did was there was a way you could upload things and get past that barrier. The problem is it was such low quality. And I think that was kind of the thing. It was such low quality and the file was so small that YouTube would just ignore it as far as, the length of it. It would just be ignored because the file was so small. Again, the file was so small because the quality was trash. And what ended up happening is it went up and it stayed on the channel. It stayed on the channel fine. It actually got views. Everyone hated it because it wasn't that good of a film. And I knew that, but I wanted to experiment. I looked at it like, okay, well, you have a problem with me. This is something you're doing to me. And I know that, there's a lot of other YouTubers who feel that way, that YouTube takes exception to them. And other things that have happened where videos that I have done that would have gotten demonetized if other creators had done them, for me, they demonetized my whole channel. And I had to, there's like, I think like twice my channel got demonetized and I had to go back and go through the whole process of, no, that's not true. I got demonetized the first time and I had to go back and they made me go through the monetization process twice. And it was because I had to jump through hoops and find out which videos were the videos they demonetized me for. So basically what I ended up doing was deleting most of my political commentary. So I did that. Suddenly I was able to be monetized again. And I was just kind of stuck because I had these two channels. And at that point in time, I had already started the Nathan Brennan Masters vlogs, and I had commentary stuff up over here. And my problem with Nathan Brennan Masters vlogs was I was getting these, people liked my commentary, but I was also attracting a lot of, far right people. And I generally find extremists on either side to be nut jobs. While it's amusing to make fun of far left extremists, and they make it so easy to do, and because the far left were kind of annoying, it emboldened far right extremists, and they were worse because the far left were on the internet. They were on Twitter being annoying. The far right literally got into the White House, and they're still in the government today, and people accept them. Like normal, everyday conservatives, and I mean normal conservatives, no problem with whatsoever. Normal liberals or classical liberals, whatever you want to call yourselves, no problem with you either. Let's put it like this. People that are normal, I have no problem with. People who are nut jobs, and that means right-wing racists, left-wing lunatics, I don't mess with you like that. I'm not down with people like that. I'm down with normies. And I also end up getting kind of burned out. And one of the things that really kind of got me down was the fact that I noticed that the people who would say, they had all this smoke for SJWs, when people on the right were doing the same thing, whether it was Trump or anybody else, literally doing the exact same things that SJWs were doing, they were like, oh yeah, it's cool. In fact, I was one of the first people, if not the first person, to use the phrase right-wing SJW. So everybody had it's cool when my people do it. My team does it, it's cool. It's like, no, you're a lunatic, and they're lunatics, and I don't support lunatics. So, I kind of didn't know what to do. And the other thing you had for me was, I kind of like to do like a Philip DeFranco thing where I cover, I like to do opinion or commentary about politics, political stuff, but I also like to do commentary about YouTube stuff, whether it's YouTube drama or just, talking about what goes on with creators. The YouTube stuff was actually the most fun. The political stuff is actually incredibly draining. I don't see how the people who do like 3-4 videos a day of that stuff, I don't see how they do it. I take that back. I actually do know how they do it because the money's good. Sometimes stuff was actually kind of important stuff. Like I did a video about Shannon, Creepshow Art, when that whole situation jumped off. And I used to watch Creepshow Art. I used to love her channel, both her and Emily Artful. I used to love their channels. I did a video about that from the point of view of the parasocial relationship. And there were people who were like, yeah, dude, we're not here for this. Some people literally unsubscribed because they just didn't want to hear what they perceived as YouTube drama. But the stuff that was going on was actual criminal behavior. And on top of that, they didn't even watch the video because I didn't come at it from a drama angle. I literally came at it from the parasocial relationship angle. So part of the thing about particularly political commentary is people who come to your channel for political commentary, they don't want anything to do with hearing about YouTube drama. They don't care about YouTube. They are here to hear someone parrot back things that they believe. People who like to hear YouTube stuff, whether it's drama or just about what's going on in YouTube or other fan communities, they're cool with the politics and they'll engage. But just like the other audience, you get a lot of left-wingers, you get a lot of far left-wingers. And the difference between the far left and the far right is the far right will get mad at you, tell you you're an idiot and unsubscribe. But the far left, they will try to cancel you. And I've seen it happen. Now, it's not as prominent as it was back then in that 2016 to 2020 era. Not as prominent as it was then. But it still happens from time to time. If you can't enjoy what you're doing on YouTube, you can't enjoy it because people are trying to control you based on the fact that, we're your viewers. Well, yeah, but, you kind of knew what you were getting into when you came here, which I guess maybe they did. Maybe they just kind of felt, well, we came here for political commentary, and that's what we want. And I also used to do commentary on a channel called The Breakfast Club. It's now called The Dinner Club. They liked my commentary stuff and recruited me for that channel. And that was actually a lot of fun because I kind of had a little clique. I felt like a real YouTuber. I would do commentary every Wednesday on that channel, but that channel was actually being suppressed in the algorithm because they were doing daily content and they were handling some spicy topics. That channel should have been blowing up. So it was very clear that, and of course the channel wasn't monetized either. So it was, of course, YouTube wasn't that interested in pushing it. So you're not getting views, you're not getting money, and you're not having fun. You're burning out. So yeah, it becomes a chore, especially when you have multiple channels. So I just stopped and started doing other things. Ironically, the other things I started doing, they cracked down on. Like I started doing Reddit reads. It's like supernatural stuff and let's not meet, stuff like that. And I would draw while reading the stuff. It was a great format. And then YouTube kind of cracked down on that. They were like, yeah, you need to do these things because we think that's low effort content. What the hell do you care? People are watching it. What's your, it's like, why do you give a damn? And they actually did delete some Reddit channels. So I stopped doing that. But a lot of political commentary is a grift nowadays. So it's done for money, and you're going to be expected to turn a blind eye to what certain people do if they're considered to be on, the right side. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to be very successful in particularly political commentary. And you're going to burn out, especially when people will argue with you about things that can easily be proven to actually be a thing. It's like, yeah, that's a thing. That's easily proven. So, yeah, that's kind of why I stopped doing commentary. I could probably talk about this for hours. So, and this video is already long. So, yeah, guys, that's it. Here's Zombie Girl.
Hasta. A life we knew would come one day, and this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire